Good Thursday morning, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Here's our current surface low pressure center, well off the eastern seaboard, but it's a large circulation and very, very deep, and it'll be taking a track into the eastern Gulf of Maine, not too far from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, and eventually into New Brunswick, east of Maine. This is the current depiction right now. You can see that most of the, much like a hurricane moving up the eastern seaboard, much of the precipitation shifts on the western and northern and western parameters. We have a lot of thunderstorm activity going on out to sea currently right now, and snow is beginning to spread into Vermont. These are the actual reporting stations showing the snow, and as far north as Rutland and White River Junction, West Lebanon at 8:30. Currently we have really cold temperatures across our region. You can see sub-freezing all the way to the coastline and a little bit offshore. The coldest of the cold, however, is still to the north and west of us, and it is these sub-0 degree temperatures that will be pulled into the storm once it gets at about the same latitude. This latest depiction of the HRRR model, you can see the snow spreading into Vermont from south to north with the heaviest snow bands generally by noontime across the southern 4 counties, and then shifting a little bit further to the north with a slightly heavier snowfall working in. But the heaviest of the heavy snow, this is 3 o'clock this afternoon, is really, of course, in down east Maine along coastal areas where they're going to see near blizzard conditions. And as that snow continues to push across the region, we're looking at this a continuation of the snow becoming a little bit lighter in southern areas, beginning to break apart. This is by 10 o'clock this evening, and then you're looking at conditions continuing to snow across the Champlain Valley and along the western and northern slopes of the Green Mountains and the Northeast Kingdom Highlands. Taking a look at total snowfall here. This is approximately by midnight. We're looking at some areas in north central Vermont reaching anywhere from as little as 2-3 inches to as much as 6 inches. So there's going to be quite variable ranges, and you can see the approximate snowfall. This is based off the HRRR model, which is reasonable at this point. Through midnight, these are the maximum wind gusts. You can see some of the areas of generally Windham as well as Windsor County, and along the spine of the Green Mountains reaching speeds better than 38 knots in the vicinity of 40 knots, and that's about 45 miles an hour. So we're starting to get into it as we get into the late part of this evening, and mostly during the overnight period as this storm draws in these winds, and these winds increase across our lower southern Green Mountain spine. Now, in terms of wind chill and, strongest winds here first. I think that's more reasonable there. This is about 7 o'clock this evening. This would be 8 o'clock this evening, 9, 10, 11, and finally midnight. Here you're looking at wind chill starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Really not a threat, but you can see what's lurking off to the north and west of Vermont, and as we get closer in time, finally by midnight, you can see those super duper cold wind chills, minus 30s, beginning to push into the region. So the worst really happens after midnight tonight and during the day on Friday, and continues with the worst of the worst, probably early Saturday morning. And then finally winds relax and temperatures actually make a little bit of a run upward. Quick look at the European model here, storm evolution. You see a very tight pressure gradient. That tight pressure gradient continues into the day on Friday. Storm actually weakens considerably as it moves inland, but that pressure gradient is still with us, and by this time we're looking at severely cold wind chills. High pressure builds in for Sunday, and that should end the storm, or at least Saturday night into Sunday. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.